Welcome, weebs, gamers, and nerds alike. As 2024 is getting underway, we have a new season of great anime starting. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 new anime in winter 2024. Make sure to subscribe for more geek content and hit that bell, and let's get right into it. First, we got Classroom of the Elite Season 3. The man himself, Ayana Koji, is back, and after we all thought we'd get nothing after Season 1, we now have 2 seasons in the span of a year. With the third semester kicking off in high gear with a special boot camp deep in the mountains, forcibly separated into groups along grade and gender lines, the first, second, and third years alike must work together to survive even more rugged terrain. Even worse, the leader of the group that comes in last will be expelled. Can the new Class C make it back to campus intact, or is this where they finally say their goodbyes to one of their own? If you enjoy thriller anime shows with very intelligent and cunning MCs, watch seasons 1 and 2, then give this a watch. Next we got Delicious in Dungeon, a Netflix anime. When young adventurer Leos, voiced by Damien Haas, yes, that Damien Haas, and his company are attacked and soundly thrashed by a dragon deep in the dungeon, the party loses all its money and provisions, and the member. They're eager to get back and save her before she's digested, but there's just one problem. If they set out with no food or coin to speak of, they're gonna starve along the way. Aleos comes up with a brilliant idea. Let's eat the monsters. Slimes, basilisks, kobolds, even dragons. None are safe from the appetites of these dungeon-crawling gourmands. It has a fun, witty, entertaining story with a good art style. It's done by Studio Trigger, known for Kill La Kill and Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and it should be a nice, feel-good show. Next we have Ishura. In a world where the Demon King has died, a host of demigods capable of felling him have inherited the world. A master fencer who can figure out how to take out their opponent with a single glance, a lancer so swift they can break the sound barrier, a wyvern rogue who fights with 3 legendary weapons at once, an all-powerful wizard who can speak thoughts into being, and an angelic assassin who deals instant death. Eager to attain the title of one true hero, these champions each pursue challenges against formidable foes and spark conflicts themselves. The battles to determine the mightiest of the mighty begin. Episode 1 started off with a banger with action scenes very reminiscent of Attack on Titan. This looks like it could pick up right where JJK left off in terms of fights, and it should be a surprising gem this season. We have Mashal Season 2. Picking up where Season 1 left off, we get to continue watching one of the best comedy action shows there is. Mash continues his thing to just beat the crap out of magic with nothing but his fists. This will be another great season, and we finally get to see more of the divine visionaries and see how Mash figures out to overcome their magic with nothing but pure muscles and imagination. I am so excited for this. This is one of those really, really feel-good shows. So if you just want to sit back and have some laughs and kind of turn your brain off a little bit, definitely pick this show up this season. Next we have the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Rent Fena has hunted monsters for the last 10 years. Sadly, he's not great at his job, stuck hunting slimes and goblins for a few coins each day. His luck turns when he finds an undiscovered path. At the path's end, he meets his demise in the maw of a legendary dragon, but he wakes up as an undead bag of bones. He sets out to achieve existential evolution, become ghasts and ghouls, and rejoin the land of the living. This might not be anything new or world-shattering, but it does look like it's going to be an entertaining watch with a reasonably unique premise that should be executed decently well and could have some pretty good action scenes. Next we have The Witch and the Beast. This show gives me a more undead murder farce vibe, and I'm all here for it. It all started with the 17 origins whose powers were passed down to individuals who still exist around today. A man carrying a coffin and a girl with the eyes of a beast appear in town. The girl was once cursed by a witch and now searches for her in order to undo the curse. See what I mean? Is the witch who appears before them the quarry they've been searching for? And how can the curse be undone? This quest for revenge against an evil witch begins rolling when the beast captures the witch. The magnificent and intense dark fantasy should be an extremely entertaining watch, and definitely a big change of pace from a lot of the other shows coming out this season. Next, we got Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. This one kind of caught me by surprise, as it was one of those randomly picked shows that I'd vaguely kind of heard stuff about, especially on TikTok, and I just kind of picked up, and it was really, really good, with a nice twist and a fantasy god that hates him. So after Makoto Misumi defeats Mitsuragi and Sophia Bolga, humanity is saved from the attacking demon army, for the time being. The goddess is aware of Makoto's growing power, and she sees him as less of a nuisance and more of a rival. Makoto continues his journey to further expand his community of outcasts and connect with more humans. This should be a good isekai with some very obvious fan service, and is also, I think, something that will have a little bit more recognition and more people talking about it after this season. The wrong way to use healing magic. If you couldn't tell already, I am most definitely an isekai trash man like many others before me. But hear me out on this one. An ordinary walk home from school turns into an epic journey for Usato. After suddenly being dropped into another world with two fellow students, he learns he was summoned there by accident. But things turn around when he discovers he has a unique aptitude for healing magic, which is extremely rare in this world. Now he trains beyond human limitations, using his self-healing abilities to gain absurd strength and unrivaled stamina. If you don't already have enough isekai on your plate, give this one a shot. Its lighthearted tone of the first episode was a good look and a good hook, and I think this has some potential to be a sleeper hit this season. A Sign of Affection. Now, for something that isn't action, adventure, isekai, shonen, seinen, etc., Yuki Itose is just a typical student dealing with the pressures of college. She is struggling one day on a train when an upperclassman named Itsumi Nagi helps her out. As he gradually opens a new world to her, Yuki develops feelings for Itsumi. A pure love story begins to grow. We don't get romance shows based on adults very often, so this should be really interesting, and I think the relationships and interactions in this could be just what some people need. If you're looking for a more mature romance anime, this could be a much watch for you this season. Last but definitely not least, we have Solo Leveling. I know. How do you do a most anticipated list without mentioning the highly anticipated adaptation of one of the biggest webtoons of all time? They say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but that's not exactly the case for the world's weakest hunter, Sung Jin-woo. After being brutally slaughtered by monsters in a high-ranking dungeon, Sung Jin-woo comes back with the System, a program only he can see that's leveling him up in every way. Now he's inspired to discover the secrets behind his power in the dungeon that spawned him. The action, animation, music, designs all look downright exciting after the first episode, and I am so ready, along with a bunch of other people, to see what all the hype was about for this show. And that's my top 10 anime coming out this season. I did leave out a lot of shows, including continuing ones like Apothecary Diaries, Shangri-La Frontier, and Free Ren. So let us know in the comments what shows you're going to be watching this season. Make sure to subscribe for more geek content, and we will see you all in the next season.